Hello and welcome to what is this episode 4, I believe. I don't even remember, you guys. My brain has been on overload. And when I first started this podcast, I wanted to be more consistent. And I know that it's been a few more days in between this episode and my last episode than I would have liked. But I have a pretty valid reason, you guys. So as some of you know, I went back to school, and last October I clocked out and I took the state board exam and passed, and I'm officially a licensed advanced esthetician. Yay me. I was getting discouraged and honestly a bit depressed because I was submitting my resume and applications and I just wasn't getting any type of response. So naturally I was just really in my head. But last week I woke up to an email response from one of the med spas that I submitted my resume to, asking if I was still interested in the position. I'm like, do bears shit in the fucking woods? Like, yes. Can you come in for an interview? I'm like, I am on my way. The entire time I was getting ready and the drive there, I'm just affirming and manifesting, like, I need this and I want this change so bad. Long story short, I get there and she hires me on the spot and asks if I can start training the following morning. Now, although there were so many emotions running through me, and I even get emotional talking about it now, because it was just, this whole thing is just so special and important to me. I was holding it together, but I asked her, I was like, can I give you a hug? And she says yes. You know, she's very, very sweet. Most people have no idea how much this means to me. And the fact that I got into a med spa as my first job, fresh out of school, it's so humbling. Now, I would have started at a place, you know, doing facials or waxing. I enjoyed doing facials in school. I thought they were therapeutic. Waxing, on the other hand, was just not my forte. I was not good at it at all. There was many students who were amazing waxers, but for some reason I just could not get it down and I hated it. But I was willing to work anything at this point because I just wanted to get my foot in the door. I wanted to get some experience and have some type of structure and routine. But I am thrilled that I got into this med spa. I wanted to perform more abrasive treatments, and I also wanted to do treatments that potentially help change someone's lives and their confidence and their self-esteem. Like, that's why I went to school for advanced aesthetics. I want to see people feel better and more confident and smiling when they look in the mirror and being happy with what they see in the mirror. So it's all just been very rewarding for me. This whole journey, though, it was not easy. And the main reason I am doing this episode today is just as an encouragement and motivation and reminder that you can do anything you want to do. Let me be an example of that. Just a short backstory. I won't get into the whole thing in this episode, but I started in the adult industry at 17, 18 years old, and it is all I have known for the last 20 years. Although now, currently, I only do webcam. It was a lot. It took a big toll on me, mentally, emotionally, physically. People are cruel. People are judgmental. I've heard it all. And you are told for years and years that you are nothing, you are worthless, you are useless, you're not deserving, you'll never be anything. Regardless how thick your skin is, eventually it does get to you. And you tend to believe those lies. So making the decision to go back to school was massive. And it meant the world to me. But it was not easy at all. I have dealt with depression my entire life. It's all I can remember. And there were many, many moments where I doubted myself, and many moments I did not want to get out of bed, let alone go to school. And I thought to myself, okay, it would just be easier to just give up and stay home. But I went and I showed up. There was even one time after school that I got into a very traumatic car accident on the freeway, totaled my car. And in that moment, I was just like, okay, I give up. Like, this is my sign. Like, I can't do this anymore. But I still continued to push myself. I showed up every single day. There were 2 days that I didn't do a full day. And one of the days is because my daughter had a driving test and I was not going to miss that for anything. So that morning, we showed up because we had a cert and I did not want to miss the cert. So I just did what I needed to do, did the cert, and left so I could make it to the DMV on time. And then the second day was graduation day, and I just decided to take that morning off and just show up for graduation for the ceremony. But I showed up, I did the work, and I put my all into it. And when I say it's so emotional for me, I can't even talk about this journey without getting emotional. I wanted to do something that was mine, something that I was so incredibly passionate about, something I was actually proud of, proud to say that I do. And I also want to clarify, this isn't me thinking I'm above the adult industry or above sex workers or above sex work. It takes a certain breed of a person to be in that industry. It is brutal. It is rough. It is not what everybody thinks it is or what everybody sees. There is so much more that goes into it, and it can really make or break a person. And just for me personally, I had just had enough. I just could not take it anymore. I do still do the webcam, but I mean, I'm working from home. I don't have to deal with anybody and kind of just do my own thing. But even then, my end goal is to completely remove myself from the adult industry. When I decided to go to school, I've never done anything like this. And after years of doing the same thing, it's easy to get comfortable. And in some strange way, it was always my safe place because it was such a big part of me. It was all I ever knew. And another thing I would like to say is, for the people who do judge and critique sex workers, what is your reasoning and why? Why are you so hateful and judgmental towards two consenting adults doing whatever they want with their life and their body and their time? I will never understand it. I think it's unfair to judge somebody for their decisions that they've made. We don't know why someone decides to do what they do. This is everyone's first time doing life. We've all had different upbringings and resources, parenting and lifestyles. And I just think it's incredibly unfair to automatically judge somebody based off their choices and decisions to get by in life. I know for me, ultimately, yes, I did make the decision to do what I did. But there is so much more to it. And I will definitely tell my story out of my own mouth because I deserve to. But I didn't have anybody telling me, like, hey, maybe you should think about this, sleep on it, like, you may regret this. I didn't have any of that. And I was already dealing with depression and amongst many other things before I even got into the adult industry. But by doing so, it just created so much more pain and suffering for me. I have been going through life numb, fight or flight, survival mode for as long as I can remember. So when I finally decided to go to school, it was everything. And I was going to push myself. Even in those moments where I just felt like I couldn't do it anymore, I did it. And I am so fucking glad that I did. Like, I did that, made the dean's list, passed all of my certs with flying colors, all while battling so much internally. That is the reason for this episode today, is just to give that encouragement, that motivation, and that reminder to believe in yourself and to trust yourself. Because if we don't believe or trust in ourselves, no one else is going to, and they're not going to take us serious. Some things seem out of reach, they seem far-fetched. And I know for me, when I think about doing something, I'm like, this is probably going to be too hard, too difficult. And so we tend to just brush it off or procrastinate. But I couldn't do that anymore. Like, I physically and mentally could not do that anymore. I was so lost. And I needed something that I was just passionate about. And I decided to go to school. And it's really crazy because also self-sabotage. I was trying to self-sabotage the entire time that I was in school. Even when I got the interview at this med spa and I did my first day of training, like, I don't know, it was an interesting training day. And no one ever really gave me the word, like, hey, we'll see you again tomorrow. Like, and I'll admit, I didn't even really say anything either, because self-sabotage in my head, I'm like, well, maybe I can't do this. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe if I don't hear back from them and they don't want me to come back, maybe that's a good thing. Like, fuck it. At least I tried. But I was like, no, like, all I needed to do was like sleep on it. And that moment passed because the next day I showed up again and I was like, I felt better. I felt more confident. And I'm like, I would have been, can you imagine had I let those intrusive, negative thoughts and lies get to me, the doubting and the questioning, and I would have been devastated. I would have done all of that for nothing. Like, I landed what seems to be a pretty good position in a really reputable med spa. I would have been absolutely crushed, and it would have made my depression so much worse if I would have acted impulsively and irrationally. So this is a reminder to stop, slow down, and breathe. Those moments of despair will pass if you want it bad enough and if you believe in yourself enough. We can expect change in our lives if we are not putting in that work and taking those steps towards our goals and our dreams and that change. I know that, like, life can be really, really challenging and hard. But I think that's what makes this all so much more rewarding and fulfilling, is when we actually accomplish it. And I also want to say, don't let your pasts or your appearance or the what ifs steer you in the wrong direction either, or turn you off from taking those steps and accomplishing your dreams and goals. Like, I am literally covered in tattoos, shitty fucking tattoos, let me tell you, from head to toe. My face, my hands, my neck, my chest, everything is covered. And I received a job in a med spa. Don't let anybody tell you that it's impossible or that it's out of reach. Don't let those things discourage you. And your past, I am a prime example. Don't let your past, don't let your regrets, your mistakes, your failures define you and get the best of you, because you deserve to take up space in this world doing the things that you love and that you enjoy. I'm not going to cry, but I believe in you. I believe in you, and you have so much more support than you think. I think we tend to believe that we are alone or that people don't care and that we don't have that support. But again, that is our mind self-sabotaging, feeding us lies. We just have to train our brains to be a little bit more gentle, a little bit more supportive of us, having our own backs. At the end of the day, don't do it for anybody else but yourself. And I don't know what's going to happen with this new job, with my new position. I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm going to take it as growth and experience, hands-on experience. It's very, very different from school. This is the real world, and I'm excited. Don't get me wrong, I still deal with depression and my anxieties and just beating myself down and questioning myself. But I put in the work to be able to navigate through life a little bit easier and better while dealing with those things, because I'm not sure if there's ever a cure to just completely fix your depression and years of trauma and pain and abuse. But you can, just like we build those negative habits and those negative mindsets and thoughts, it's not going to change overnight. It's going to take work to retrain your brain into treating you kinder and nicer and healthier. But you can do it. I truly believe in you, and I hope that this message does what it's intended to do and it reaches the right person who needs to hear this. But I do thank you all so much. As much negativity and the assholes that I've dealt with throughout the years, there has been an abundance of support. Like, I have so much beautiful support, even from people that I've never even got the chance to meet in person. I thank you guys for always believing in me and just seeing so much beauty in me that I don't always see. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All of my little side quests, this podcast, the nails, the jewelry, my little cooking page, like, I appreciate it. And I thank you for taking me seriously. And it feels very, very good. And I do acknowledge that. I hope everyone's new year is fulfilling and off to a good start. I would have to say that mine definitely is. I am licensed. I have a new career. I'm definitely still working on my mental health and my well-being and just the new norm for me. This is my first time having a real job. I mean, I worked at Subway when I was like 16, but that didn't last longer than like 2 weeks. I was so overwhelmed because the Subway that I worked at was across the street from a high school. So they would come in, and during lunch it would get so busy and I would get so frustrated, and I would just I know that I wasn't charging them correctly. Like, I would give them their whole meal and charge them for like a bag of chips. Like, I was the worst Subway employee ever. I just wanted them like in and out. It was stressful. I don't know. But also shout out to Subway because I fucking love Subway. I know people like think it's disgusting, but when I started at this new med spa, there's a Subway in the same like plaza, and I've been going to eat it, and I hadn't had Subway in a very, very long time. But once I started this new job, I noticed myself eating it, and I'm like, I actually really love this disgusting fucking sandwich. Like, I don't know, it's just so good to me. But anyways, this is my first like real job as an adult, and it's something that I fucking love so much. So much. Like, this is so special and so important to me, and I think everybody who has just been along this journey and cheering me on and rooting me on and showing interest in it, it means so much to me. I can never thank you guys enough. And for all of you, don't let anybody tell you that you aren't worthy, that you can't do it, because you can and you will, but you have to want it. You can do and be anything you want, except for a dinosaur. You can't be a dinosaur. Well, you can be an AI dinosaur, so there's that. I'm going to end this episode now. If you could please give me a follow and a rating, it helps me immensely, and it's also just very appreciated. Thank you guys all so much, and I will talk to you again soon. Take care of yourself, and remember to be so kind to others, and especially to yourself.